Welcome to the Pure Wellness Podcast, where we talk about what it takes to live a holistic lifestyle by making conscious, healthier choices. Our hope is that these discussions will inspire you to strengthen your daily practice to improve overall physical, mental, emotional, and social well-being. Pure Wellness Podcast provides information solely for educational purposes and is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. I'm your host, Johanna Altman, founder of One Body Medicine, avid health enthusiast, and mother of three. Join me and industry professionals as we explore human potential in the pursuit of pure wellness. Welcome back to the Pure Wellness Podcast. Today we're exploring a topic that affects every single one of us: electromagnetic fields from the devices we use every day, especially our cell phones. Joining us is Norbert Heuser, scientist, inventor, health consultant, and the creator of ProtectPro, a technology focused on helping reduce the biological impact of EMF exposure. In this episode, we will explore the science behind EMFs, the potential health implications, and what practical steps people can take to better protect themselves in our increasingly wireless world. Norbert, welcome to the podcast.
Good day to you. Thanks for having me. First time. Jesus. Yeah, first time.
I know. I feel like I know you already because we've had multiple conversations. I wanted to first start off by going into your background and how you ended up in this field of creating this amazing product, ProtectPro. You have a very colorful background. Can you talk a little bit more about your history and your career?
Well, my life is more colorful than the background. I can tell you that.
Yeah, definitely is.
It's a long story. I don't want to bore the audience. I'm for 45 years in alternative medicine. Mm-hmm. I had a long road, which later, looking back, I understand that there were indicators for my calling, which, of course, as a young person, as a child, I did not understand. It took me half my life to understand what was going on. So at the age of 3, I had the first time out-of-body experiences. At the age of 3, I started to see previous lives I had, which I didn't know what it was, and I couldn't speak to anybody about it. So at the age of 10, I stepped into alternative medicine for the first time, not knowing what I was doing, but I was doing it. Mm-hmm. And at the age of 16 again, and then I lived my life in various careers, but I was always interested in alternative, what I call today, alternative medicine. So, and I was never sick. I was never in hospital. And 45 years ago, all of a sudden I became sick overnight, so to speak, which you never become sick overnight. I learned later. It builds, but overnight it may show brutally. Correct. Okay, but you ignored the writings on the wall. So 45 years ago, I became very sick. At this time, they had no internet, so I looked at the Yellow Pages. Yellow Pages was the source of information, or mouth to mouth. And I looked up a doctor on the Yellow Pages, and he said, "Come on over." I came over. He gave me a 15-minute interview, and then he said, "Okay, here's what's wrong." And he found out that I was very close to die. It was very shocking, of course.
Of course.
To cut a long story short, the guy was specialized 45 years ago in food addictions and food intolerance. And he diagnosed food addiction and food intolerance I had. And you can die of food addictions and food intolerance. And you can be addicted to anything in this world, to any food, a lot of things. I was so fascinated. Within 2 weeks, he turned around my life. And I was an adult. I was a management consultant at this time. And I said, "Look, doctor, this is too good. I got to learn this. Would you mind to accept me as an intern without payment? I just want to learn." And he said, "Okay, sure." And so I started to work with him every day in his practice, except Sundays and Christmas. We worked every day. And it turned out to be almost 1 year I worked with him. And after that year, in that year, we did a lot of experiments. I was his volunteer guinea pig to do stuff with him. which you could never ask a normal patient to do that because it would be too dangerous. But we did it because we wanted to find out what's going on. So we did. And after 1 year, I learned so much that I incorporated what I learned into my business as a management consultant, because I realized that lots of managers were addicted to this or that or the other. Hard stuff, bad stuff, or what I call soft stuff, okay? You can be addicted, for example, to caffeine. And most people don't know that they are addicted to caffeine. Which later on, 2 years ago, took me then to the point where I wrote a book, Every Coffee Drinker is a Drug Addict. And, all right, so I then incorporated what I learned, plus at the same time, I started to become, 45 years ago, interested in kinesiology or muscle testing. And I applied kinesiology with my clients, patients. I tested these people and I tried to help to get them out of addictions, because only if you're free of addictions, you can become free as a person. You can be not addicted to something, whatever it is, and to be really free as a person, as a human being, as a spiritual being. It's impossible. Okay.
Yeah, agree.
So these managers had a lot of setbacks, and I realized if I help them first out of the addiction, I can work with them on their management skills and on their business. So this is the road I took, and I developed a principle which became the basics of my work. I found out, I defined my own thesis, that every person can be addicted to what I call 3 Ps. The letter Ps. You can be addicted to a product. We all understand you can be addicted to a drug, to alcohol, to nicotine, right? A product. We can be addicted to a product. This is what most people understand as addiction. And what does addiction mean? That your free will is not as strong to overcome the temptation of an addiction. All right? That's all it is, addiction. The free will is not strong enough.
So you ended up, meeting this doctor and loving what he did. He healed you after a very short period of time, which led you down the path of, creating, right? Working with people that had addictions. And I know you're a scientist, an inventor as well, which also probably gave you, the time and, the energy to create products with the focus of helping us all stay healthier in today's world, which is why I wanted to focus on the EMFs and how you actually came to create ProtectPro. Can you go a little bit into that?
Sure. But to finish quickly this thought about the 3 Ps. So you can be addicted to a product, you can be addicted to a P like a person, and you can be addicted to a procedure or process. I have a separate show if you're ever interested in about addiction. We can talk about this.
Oh, absolutely.
So that was 45 years ago. Then 20 years ago, 18 years ago, I became very sick, second time in my life. And this time I found out it was because of cell phone. I became sick because of cell phone. And my firstborn grandson became sick at the same time, at the same period.
Now, what were the symptoms? When you say you got sick, what were the symptoms?
Okay. Every person has an attitude to use the cell phone on the right or left side of the face.
Correct.
And they do it instinctively. It has nothing to do with left or right-handed. Okay? Everybody uses the cell phone typically on one side on the head. And later in my seminars, live seminars, I demonstrated people that I could prove which is their telephone side with kinesiology.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And the answer was very simple, because their side was already so much damaged that I got an indicator. You're damaged here from the cell phone, right? On this side of the brain. Many years ago, there was a European company, the number 1 in the world in cell phones at this time. And they already made tests. A friend of mine worked there. They made tests, put cell phones on the head of pigs. They just attached them to the head of pigs and let them run around for a while. I don't know what the pigs said over the phone to each other. And finally, they killed the pigs and they cut the skull open to see how far the radiation penetrated into their brain, right? So they already knew 35 years ago what they were doing.
Wow.
Okay. So now what happened to me was, when I was a child, my father had a light stroke. Mm-hmm. And the light stroke meant that his face was squished and his eye came down and his lips were kind of like this. Mm-hmm. And he couldn't really close his mouth. And he had a mild stroke. And that scared me as a child. So 20 years ago, 18 years ago, I woke up one morning, went to the mirror, and my face was like this.
Oh.
And my wife, who was a nurse, was scared to death. Mm-hmm. And we assumed I had a stroke.
Were you feeling fine? You just woke up and you looked in the mirror and you noticed
it was
that your face looked different.
It was so obvious the face was squished,
Wow.
So I rushed to a doctor, and he said, no, you don't have a stroke. In your skull, there's a small hole called Bell's palsy. And through this hole runs a nerve, very tight hole. Mm-hmm. The nerve just fits through. And because of the cell phone and the thermal effect of the cell phone, this nerve inflamed and caused all these effects.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay. Uh-huh. So I immediately stopped using the phone or the head, and a week later, everything was gone.
Did you feel any different, or
No.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was not that I felt pain or sensations. Mm-hmm. My face looked just horrible. Still looks horrible today, but this time it was more. It was worse.
It's beautiful.
So, and I said, okay, there must be something done about the cell phone. With kinesiology, I could easily test, the cell phone hurts you. And I looked around, there was nothing available. Nothing available.
How long ago was this, Norbert?
18 years ago.
Oh, that's a long time ago. Mm-hmm.
And remember, 18 years ago, we didn't have as much cell phones as we have today.
Correct.
There was no 4G, no 5G. It was just 2, 3G. Mm-hmm. So I said, this is unacceptable. There must be something. Nothing. So I sat down with my mind and said, I got to create something to protect myself and my family. Because my eldest born son at the same time had enormous eczema. Enormous. And I warned my daughter she would breastfeed him while she was on the cell phone. And I said to her, look, that cell phone kills people. At this time, I was a lunatic. Everyone says cell phone is harmless, it's beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Nobody ever said something is wrong with a cell phone. And when I came out at this time with the idea that there's something wrong with a cell phone, I was really looked at as an idiot. It was fine. I knew I wasn't. So it didn't bother me. So I started to develop technology and researches based on quantum physics. And I developed a thing which I call ProtectPro, means protection professional. You got a professional protect the people from these harms. And I developed that technology, and I developed a small little product which I produced for myself and the family. That some people asked me for it, and I started suddenly to have a small little production, which I never wanted to. I never wanted a production. So the first units I produced were $500. And I was sold out with the first production in 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Because people who were at a bit of a brain understood something is going wrong here. Right? So I ended up in manufacturing this product, and then I had to do it for Wi-Fi, because cell phone is only one part of it. Yes. And then I run into water, because all the water, I realized people, 95% drink bad water in our society. Even though they think it's great, and it's filtered water and whatever. And I found out it was all BS.
So that's how you started. You started because something happened to you 18, 20 years ago, and you had a need, and you realized that what is this technology that everybody's so excited about? And then you started to ask the hard questions very early on. Yeah, 18 years ago, people just thought cell phones were the best. We weren't talking about any type of EMF or harmful side effects from them. So for listeners who might not fully understand what EMFs are, can you explain what they are and how cell phones generate them?
Okay, sure. Now, You talk about EMF. I never talk about EMF. I always talk about EMR, electromagnetic radiation. If you have a field, let me compare it with a swimming pool. You're sitting in a swimming pool, that's a field, right? Now, if I get out of the swimming pool and you take a garden hose, water garden hose, and you splash me, that's a radiation. It shoots at you. It has a direction. There are waves, okay? So, yes, you can have electromagnetic field when you're in the car, for example. The radiation in the car sits there like a block, okay?
I see.
But if you pass now the towers on the road, these towers shoot radiation frequencies at you, which is called electromagnetic radiation. So I'll talk in principle about electromagnetic radiation, not about electromagnetic field. Because that's an exception, okay? So the electromagnetic radiation, when you have electricity, you take an iron, you want to iron your clothing, and you plug this iron into a plug. You have electromagnetic radiation. It's what we call low frequency. It's a radiation wherever electricity is, there is electromagnetic radiation. Okay? Now, the technology, Wi-Fi, was developed by the armies of this world, not by private people. Because the armies of this world had all the money, whatever the budget they wanted, to develop anything, good or bad, it didn't matter. For example, nowadays, the holy cow is, in water business, is reverse osmosis water.
Yes.
Which is the devil.
Really?
I have a special show only about this.
We'll have to get to that.
Water is the devil. I publicly say this to anybody in anybody's face, and I prove it. So, reverse osmosis water was developed for the armies. When you went to the third world countries where the water was crappy and you had not clean water, tap water, you had to live with whatever they had. They had to find a system to clean that water that it had no germs, no bacteria which could harm the soldiers. And they developed reverse osmosis water to protect the soldiers from harm. But that didn't mean that the water was healthy. The priority was just protect, right? So the armies of the world always had the money they wanted to develop anything. Nowadays we talk about 5G, right?
Yes, yes. What is that about? What's that all about? 5G and 6G and...
Okay, all right. So let's start from scratch. The first generation of Wi-Fi later on was called, like the golden 20s were called the golden 20s after the 30s and the 40s. And looking back, these were the golden 20s. So after the first G generation, 1G stands for first generation of Wi-Fi.
Okay.
First generation of Wi-Fi, and that came out in 1980, okay? I have here a graphic which I show you, which shows you the different Gs, 1G, and the next generation was 2G, and the next generation 3G, and the next generation 4G, and the next generation 5G, the fifth generation. With every generation, the cell phones, the Wi-Fi, became more dangerous, more harmful, but was more funny, more sexy, more rock and roll, more fluffy. First, you only could make a phone call. Then you could phone call and text. Then you could phone call, text, and internet. You added up service, fun, excitement, very sexy.
So the more capability, the higher the G.
Yes.
And that's why we've increased.
And we call it then, when the second generation came out, we call it then the second generation, the next generation, and so on. So this is 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G. Now 5G came officially out about 2 years ago, while we were under COVID restrictions and couldn't leave the house. 5G came out. That's no coincidence. Now, people think 5G is new, which is not. 5G was already existing in the 1960s.
Really?
And used
for what purpose?
To kill people. 5G was developed for the army as a weapon. In the 1960s, the American Army, the English and the Canadian Army were using 5G already. Now, here's a book I want to point out. I didn't write that book. An English whistleblower from the Canadian Army wrote that book. And he tells you everything about 5G. Everything. It's a Bible. I mean, if you read this book, you understand how much governments and official institutions like FDA, like World Health Organization, were involved in the scam.
I believe that.
He points them out. Date, time, what happened, who did what. Okay? So this book, I highly recommend people to read. If you really want to understand and you don't believe me, or you say, who the hell is he? Well, read this book, okay? So 5G is already, since the 1960s, used as a weapon to control people, okay? So now 5G was rolled out in the COVID time while we were locked in. They were building the 5G towers everywhere. While we were locked in, a bunch of people were not locked in. They had to build the towers. Okay, now, here is an image which shows you a 5G tower. Now, we know the towers, we can see them everywhere, right? Big towers. And here's an image how from 4G to 5G, they had to change the distribution of the electromagnetic radiation. They had to change it. Before, you see in this image, 4G, it was spreading over many buildings far away. Now with 5G, these are very, very high frequencies. They can be easily blocked. So they had to establish every 300 feet a tower or a transmitter, every 300 feet, 400 feet.
Are they underground? Because I don't notice them in everyday life.
No. If you look, here's an image from a typical tower. You can see this tower for miles on end, but you don't pay attention. It's just there, right? And then they have transmitters. The transmitters are nowadays, smaller units, not huge, and they put them on road signs, on traffic lights, on lampposts, everywhere, every 300 feet. Once you understand them and you see them everywhere. They are everywhere, but you're not aware of it. And they got to have them everywhere, otherwise you wouldn't have had the signals. Because the 5G signals are so high, and it's such a short sequence frequency, that a wall would easily block them, several walls. So they built those towers while we were in COVID. So does it make sense, 1G, 2G, 3G?
Yes,
4G, 5G?
yes, it does.
Okay, so
I guess I'm just very concerned because obviously I've heard over the years 5G is dangerous. I've heard it, but I don't really understand what that means. I don't understand how EMFs interact with a human body, what happens to us. Nobody really talks about these things.
Sure not. It's big business, my dear. We have a population in the United States of about 330 million, give and take. We have about 400 million cell phones.
That's crazy.
And then imagine not only the cost for the hardware, but imagine all the monthly cost. Okay? 400 million times. The world population is officially 8 billion. We have 8 billion cell phones in the world. That business is so huge, they don't let you touch it. Nobody wants to touch it. And it becomes even worse. This good old Bill Clinton, he released a law in his time that the mobile phone industry can set up towers on any public property without permission.
Oh, really? I wasn't aware of that.
Yes, that's a law. And I blend here in the information. I named the law. You can look it up. I'm not making this up. Of course not. And it goes that far that the mobile phone industry can sue any governmental office which tries to stop them. So they got a carte blanche to build the towers everywhere on public property. And I was first called to an interview about 18 years ago, 20 years ago, when in California there was in Ripon, I think was the name of the village, there was a school. And in the school they discovered suddenly that several teachers and students developed cancer.
I'm hearing a lot about that too, about, cell phones causing cancer. And I mean, what are the studies regarding that?
Okay. So this story, to finish this one, they found that on the school ground, the company has put up a tower for Wi-Fi distribution on the school playground. And the school got every year $25,000 to do that. And then the crap hit the fan, and they quickly dismantled the tower. And when the word got out, somebody says there's this German guy who knows about this stuff. And I was overnight on 50 radio stations across the country, explained to us, what is this all about, right? Nobody had an idea. Okay. So, here's what happens. Our human body is based on electricity. Without electricity, we could not work. We have a natural electricity. Our heart, our brains, our organs would not work without electricity, which most people are not aware of. And you can measure that electricity, and we need that. But it's a very fine, small intensity level. As you need a car, for a car to need gas, or nowadays electricity to run a car, you need electromagnetic radiation to make a phone call.
Yes,
you need electromagnetic to make a phone call or to use Wi-Fi. You need it. Now, the point is, our natural electromagnetic field, which we have in us, here the expression field is correct. We have a field in us, and the electromagnetic radiation is measured in microwatt per square meter. As you measure the speed of a car in miles, you measure electromagnetic radiation in microwatt per square meter. We have a natural field of 80.
Okay.
100, so-so, 120, not fun anymore. 1,000, according to German building biologists, highly cancerous. Right? 80 we have. We shouldn't go more 120. 1,000, no. If you make a cell phone call, you have easy 1,000 to 2,000.
That's crazy.
And if you drive electric car, you have easy 5, 6, 7, 8,000. Okay? So the electromagnetic radiation we have, which we need for our life, and here's the point. That's the major point of everything I'm going to tell you. We have a natural field around us, in us. And here's my standard image, which I like to show, my famous gravestone. Rest in peace. The humans think they can do anything they want and not respect the laws of nature. The laws of nature are the laws of nature. And we can screw with them, we can ignore them, we pay the price. The price is always health, mental and physical. Because electromagnetic radiation already will attack your mental health, which we'll talk about in a minute. Okay. So we have a natural field, very sensitive. Now, when we use a cell phone or Wi-Fi, GPS, and when we talk cell phone, it's not only cell phone, it's smartwatch, it's gaming consoles, it's baby monitors.
A baby monitor. I wasn't aware of that. Is it because it's connected to Wi-Fi?
It can only work with Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Because it's another room, and you have the receiver next to your bed to hear what the baby's doing, right? It's a Wi-Fi situation, right? Yes. And all Bluetooth operated products, headphones, wireless, Bluetooth.
I actually stopped doing the wireless Bluetooth because I heard about it, but this is, giving me even more reason to use the wired ones.
Well, this is sorry.
Am I still not protected enough, Norbert?
No.
Oh, my goodness.
You put your headphone cable in your cell phone, right? Okay. Now the electromagnetic radiation crawls along the cable into your ears, into your brain. It's a connection. It crawls. It's connected. The wire is leading these harmful frequencies into your brain, into your head.
So Bluetooth and wired are still harmful. It doesn't matter. Now, what if I have ProtectPro on my phone?
Yeah, this is why I developed my technology.
Yes. So I have ProtectPro on my phone. I'm a client. So how am I doing? How am I doing now with this? I'm good. Okay.
You don't
good.
don't need a life insurance.
Okay. Okay.
Well,
good.
believe it or not, people told me what the technology you develop is the cheapest life insurance I could ever buy. For $90, a protection for your cell phone, which is guaranteed for 5 years.
Yes.
Okay. So again, summary, you have a natural field. This field is very sensitive and your health is based that field works perfect. It's God-given. That's no accident. The 80 microwatts per square meter is not an accident. Your body temperature, 96.7, whatever, is God-given. That's not by accident. In nature, there is no accident what is healthy.
Agree.
It's a design. Okay. So now when you use all these beautiful gadgets, and the problem is we cannot live without Wi-Fi in this society anymore. It's over.
That's right.
It's complete over. Our society would not work without Wi-Fi, without electromagnetic radiation, without cell phones. Our society would not work. It would collapse tomorrow in a day, in an hour. If you would cut tomorrow all these Wi-Fi transmitters in the world would collapse 1 hour. Gone.
I think that's an unfortunate truth.
All hospitals work on Wi-Fi. All airplanes, all medical devices, all communication. Everything works on Wi-Fi. And without Wi-Fi, this world would collapse like nothing. You couldn't make a bank transfer. You couldn't do nothing. Everything where you touch. And now they're building all these smart homes, right? Nothing will work anymore. So by using now these Wi-Fi signals, whether it's with your cell phone, GPS, your smart meter they put on the houses, they're all Wi-Fi. They're all Wi-Fi, and they harm you. But they don't tell you the business is too big. It's big business. And don't forget, the next step is that Wi-Fi, 4G, 5G, and 6G on the horizon is a way to control this planet. Not only physically.
When do you think 6G is going to come out?
It is out.
We're in 6G now.
No, it's out.
It's out, but they haven't used it yet.
In certain areas in the world, yes. In certain places. Always think like that. If tomorrow they announce we have 6G now, they already had it out for the last year or two and playing with it. Okay? There are places in this world where 6G is operating. Now, 6G, to my definition, is the end of the world as we know it. Now, some people attack me and say, oh, you are a tree hugger. You are, And here's an image I show you from my first mobile phone, which I was a fan of. This is 35 years ago. I had one of the first mobile phones in the world, and it cost me $10,000. $10,000.
It was the one that looked like a brick, right? It was the big square brick. We had one of those.
And you could put it in the car, attach it to the car, and blah, blah. We could carry it around on a strap, right? So I was a fan. I was a fan of technology. My first answering machine, when I was traveling the world half-time of the year, I visited so far 39 countries. And I was so mobile. I had a cell phone an answering machine at home, but it was useless when I was gone so long, right? And then came out the first answering machine, which you could listen to from the distance. I could call my own number and say, come on, play me my messages, and give a signal, and then I could hear my own messages. And this thing had cost me $3,000 for a stupid answering machine, right? So I'm a total fan of technology. However, I crucify the industries, no matter which industry, which release product which are not totally proven safe. That's my only standard.
I mean, I guess for me too, it's like, how difficult would it have been to attach some type of protection to all of this technology, such as the one that you had created with ProtectPro?
Yes.
I mean, how difficult would that have been?
How difficult would it have been to produce water which is healthy?
This is what I'm saying. It's really a shame.
Yeah, but it's symptomatic for our society.
That's
right. I mean, the cigarette industry knew what they were doing long time ago, and they denied it, right? Yeah. Because they needed the addiction factor. They needed the addiction factor in the cigarette industry. If you just puff one cigarette a day, they wouldn't make much money.
Well, also with technology, that addiction factor is definitely there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we want to talk about that. Now, Norbert, I have a question. This radiation that we're constantly around, okay? I mean, for somebody who's listening to this podcast and is now on high alert saying, I was not aware of this. I use my cell phone all the time. I was not aware that, I have smart meters in my home that are all connected to Wi-Fi. All my TVs are smart TVs. What can they do today to help mitigate their exposure?
Mitigate doesn't work.
Okay.
In my philosophy, you're pregnant or you're not pregnant.
That's right.
A bit pregnant doesn't work.
That's right.
Okay. And I'll come in a minute. I'll show you some examples how people are deceived and are fooled. And I give people these warnings to look for. Okay. The only thing you can do is you must defend yourself. I hear people saying, I don't use my cell phone at nighttime. I switch off my Wi-Fi at nighttime. Or I don't even have a Wi-Fi. Guys, you don't understand. You are bombarded with Wi-Fi, whether you want it or not. Okay? Even if you would have no cell phone, even if you would have no Wi-Fi yourself, which is maybe 1% of the population, for 99%, it's unrealistic. It's too late. Okay? But let's say you would have not, just to make you understand. The Wi-Fi signal from your neighbor penetrates your house and your body. People say, how do you know? Well, if you take your cell phone or your computer and you look for an internet connection, the computer offers you 5, 10, 20 connections. They're listed. And you could take any connection if you would know the password, right? If your computer says, look, here are 10 connections, which one you want, which means the connection is running already through you.
Yeah, through the computer, through you. Correct. Okay.
There is a program called antennasearch.com. Antennasearch.com. It's a program on the internet. You can step in there, no charge. And you give in your address. And here's an example from my company where I did that. So the address shows you then within a second how many towers and transmitters are within 3 miles around you.
I don't think I want to know this information because I can't do anything about it.
No, sorry. It's contrary to my life philosophy. Being aware of the problem is half the solution.
Correct. I know it's a problem.
You must be aware of it. Only if you're aware of it fully, you understand maybe what you can do, and you listen to people like me. There are not many people like me. I'm not the only one. But there are very, very few who tell you the truth. Okay? And then you can see what I'm explaining you in a few minutes, how people get deceived. Even people who are looking for the solution, how they get systematically taken for idiots. So antennasearch.com, it shows you how many towers and transmitters are around you. Again, towers are the big ones, transmitters are the small ones, which you don't hardly ever see, right? And they're basically every 300 feet. And you get the idea, how much are you bombarded with it, so that you cannot ignore it anymore. Okay, it's there. I want to live with it. I don't want to give up my cell phone. I don't want to give up my Wi-Fi. I couldn't live. I couldn't do my job without Wi-Fi and cell phone. And that counts for most of the people. So That's antennasearch.com. There's another program called Fing, F-I-N-G.
Okay.
It's an app. My last seminar live I gave before the COVID shutdown was 2020 in Zurich, Switzerland, in February of 2020, a month before the shutdown. And we went to a hospital to see how many Wi-Fi connections are in this hospital. And this program called F-I-N-G, Fing. I think meanwhile they charged something for it. At this time it was free charge. So we went to the hospital and we gave in Fing. And then it shows you at the point where you're standing now, how many connections are running through me, not only through my machine, running through me, through your body. Like radio waves. When you have radio waves, you know, they're running through walls and through bodies, you know. They don't circle you. So what do you guess in this hospital, right in the hospital, how many Wi-Fi connections did we have?
I have no idea. I'm afraid to hear.
Come on, do me a favor. Give some fun.
How about 20?
Okay. How about 1,200?
What? That's insane.
That's what we said too. And we said, oh, look, this got to be wrong, right? Got to be wrong, right?
Yes. Did everybody go onto the app and do it themselves to confirm?
Who means everybody? Who knows about that?
You know, what I'm saying is you were with people doing this test, correct?
It was a colleague of mine from Switzerland.
Oh, it was
Okay. So then we said, look, there must be something wrong with the program, right?
Correct.
Okay. So we stepped out of the hospital some yards further on, and then it came down to 20, 30, 10. Okay. So we said, okay, we went to a second hospital. Very much similar situation. Very much similar result. Over 1,000. And then we knew, shit, this is right. Sorry.
That is crazy.
This is crazy, right? But people don't tell you this, which means if I measure with this thing, or you measure now at home, 20, then you know that at this moment you're sitting there, 20 Wi-Fi connections are running through your house, your apartment, your body. Then you can switch off everything you have. You can turn it all off. It doesn't matter a damn thing. Still 20 are running through you. So I try to explain to people, look, when you do at nighttime, switch off your phone, that's nice, but it's not the solution. If you switch off your Wi-Fi, that's nice, but not the solution. That's just a
we still need a shield of some type.
Yeah. So I developed this technology first for the cell phone only. That was my walkway into this area. But then I realized with the Wi-Fi towers at this time became slowly more and more, and then went from 3G to 4G. So, and talking about 5G, which took another 10 years. Between 3G and 4G, as you see in my statistic, takes 10 years to 5G takes another 10 years. The 6G will be faster, not 10 years. So I knew I had to do something. So I developed then the technology, expanded it so that I could shield your body, like I have here. What the cell phone unit does for the cell phone only, with the radio on the radius of 6 feet, okay, in a sphere, okay. Then I developed a product for your body protection. Same technology with the body protection.
Now, is there a reason, Norbert, why you have? Is that just one plate on your neck?
Yes.
Is that one? Okay, so that's to protect you.
I have two.
Yeah, so I was going to ask you, I thought I saw two. Is there a reason why there's two and not just one?
Yeah, I have a protection here. Most people suffer that their pineal gland, their thymus and their thyroids are all not working good. Majority of people. It's another story for another day.
Yeah.
And one is what I call Human Protect.
I see.
It's, so to speak, I cannot say medical device. It's a device which helps you with things going on within your body.
I see. So it's a different
So I developed this for the Human Protect. Then I developed a size bigger for your car.
I have that because my husband decided he wanted to get a Tesla. And I said, well, we need to get one of these ProtectPros for the car. So we have that, actually.
And I developed then the big one for the entire house, entire property. To give an example, this one covers 150 feet in radius. which is 300 feet in diameter. It's a huge field, but not only horizontal, in a sphere. So it covers 150 feet going up, 150 feet going down, right? And you just place it there, and it's guaranteed for 10 years, and that's it. And this is then for the car when I go in the hotel room, or driving the car, or in the airplane. I have this here, right? I don't know whether you know that by profession, the highest rate of cancer are among airline pilots.
No, I did not know that.
Yeah. And they're aware of the problem. That it's because it's the radiation they have in the airplane when they're up there. You know what a Geiger counter is?
No.
A Geiger counter is a measuring device. You can measure the radiation in this world. We have a natural radiation here on the ground. We live with since born. When we go on an airplane, the airplane goes up 30,000 feet. This radiation goes up 30 to 40 times.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So this, and you have a high rate of illnesses among airline staff members, flight attendants, you know. So I developed these technologies because I saw you got to protect the person. The cell phone itself is not enough anymore, right? All right, so let's concentrate on the cell phone. We're getting too far drifted off.
Yes.
The topic is too big. So I developed this for the cell phone. You put this in between your cell phone and the carrying protective case. Here's an image what it looks like. And this is paper thin, and it's smaller than a credit card, very thin, very light. And you stash it between the case and the phone. And then if you change the phone, you just take it to the next phone. And it has a warranty of 5 years, right?
Okay.
Now, I did a trick here. All the technology I'm using, this is just saying, and you take the case, you put it in the case, and you just add the phone, and that's it. Now, all the products I'm producing are based on quantum physics. What I'm doing is only possible in quantum physics. Only possible in quantum physics. So here's how it works. When I came out with this thing here several years ago, it was only 4G and 3G. Then came 4G. If somebody bought this now a year ago with only 3 and 4G, this is the latest production. It says 3G, 4G, 5G. You had this thing in your phone, and you trust me that I protect you. But now came out 5G. And you said, Norbert, so what's the hell? It doesn't protect me. Quantum physics technology allows me to find all the products I previously sold in the world, wherever you are, and I upgrade them to 5G. Now I upgraded this one to 6G. If you buy it today, you have 6G in it. If somebody bought it half a year ago, it doesn't have 6G in it when he bought it. But meantime, I programmed it. Quantum physics technology allows me to find any product in the world I ever sold. I reprogram it, and I transfer the programming into your unit. You're in Africa, you're in California, you are on the moon, it doesn't matter, I'll find you. And with a 3-day cycle from start to finish, I upgraded your product. So
that's amazing. That's unheard of.
Yes, it is. It is. Now, you said before about you could. Why do these companies don't use that technology? When I invented this, somebody said, you become a millionaire now. Because they're going to put it in every phone. I said, no, they will not. For 2 reasons. One reason is they would admit that it was never safe.
That's correct.
How many trillions of people will sue you because you misled them? They don't want to go in this field. They wouldn't admit it. I can take every cell tower in the world, put one of my products in the cell tower, and every phone Wi-Fi connections running through this cell tower will be harmless. No more problem. But
the solution is so simple, but they have to have the heart to do it and not think of the money and all the other things.
So the same with the electric car. Years ago, I wrote a letter to Mr. Musk, Elon Musk. I'm not sure he ever received the letter, maybe not. And I offered to him the corporation. I said, look, your electric cars harm every human being. Mm-hmm. You have such an intense magnetic field in the car from these huge batteries and electromagnetic field. Mm-hmm. My product in 2 minutes can take this all off and no more harm. He never answered. I guess he never got my letter. Okay. Mm-hmm. But I can twist every electric car into perfect harmless. And now I can say this as long as I want till the cows come home, but I can do better than that. On my website, you have a button called BESA, B-E-S-A. Mm-hmm. The BESA Institute in Austria has tested all my products. And here is an image. The test just been done in January. Every 3-4 years, I have them test again to make sure I'm cool and it's all good, new update. So they tested it in January again. And it's a 60-page test on my website, 60 pages. And out of the 60 pages here, I took one page, which shows you somebody's organs, functions in the body being tested before, without a protection, just using the cell phone, and then putting this in a cell phone, and the same person being tested again 5 minutes later. Everything is in green.
I saw that.
Everything in blue means degenerative, sick illness. And in 5 minutes, everything from blue turned into green, into healthy, right? So people don't need to trust me. They don't know me. And there's too much BS going out there, which I'll explain in a minute. And here is the page with people, I call them trustful sources of information, people of a higher caliber than me. There's the whistleblower from the British Army, Dr. Barry Trower. Mm-hmm. There is Dr. Johansson from Sweden, of university, and so on and so forth. There are dozens of qualified people who testify and say, look, this is not okay. Mm-hmm. It is not okay, right? So, yes, but your question was, what can you do?
Yes.
And what you have to do is the only answer. You have to protect yourself 24/7.
Correct.
On your home, the typical problem sources are the cell phone. Basically, everybody has a cell phone. Mm-hmm. So you protect the cell phone, $99. End of the discussion. Guaranteed, here are the results, 5 years. After 5 years, you got to replace it. Fine. You got to protect your body when you leave home. Because everywhere you get attacked. And you can take the smallest one or the one size bigger. They do the exact same. So with one product, 2 products on your body, and the third product protecting your entire house and all the people, all the plants, all the animals in the house. With 3 products, you have protected your entire life. Wherever you are, wherever you live or dwell, wherever you travel. 3 products, you have protected your entire life from Wi-Fi signals, from the penetration of harmful Wi-Fi signals. This you have to do. And whether you do it with me or some other companies, we'll talk about that in a second. Some other companies, whether you do this, it doesn't matter as long as you have protected yourself.
Correct.
That's the only way to do it. It's the only way to do it. Like you wear a safety belt, right? Why you wear a safety belt? For the unlikely likelihood you have an accident, right? How many people have an accident where they needed a safety belt? The amount of people who needed a safety belt is extremely small. But they still put the safety belt on just in case, right? It's not about your driving, about the driving of the others as well. Okay, you put a safety belt on every time you're in the car, just to be sure, right? But now if you don't go with this outside your house, you'll be attacked 1,000% guaranteed. Your body's going to be screwed, whether you like it or not. And the problem is you don't feel it, you don't smell it, you don't hear it. Very few people are sensitive to feel something's going on. Some people say when they use a cell phone, it warms up their hand or their face, very few people. Majority of people don't feel, don't hear, don't see anything. That makes it so dangerous.
I agree. And I think, with cancer on the rise, everybody I know is asking, what is happening? Yeah. What's going on in the world? What is different than how life was 20 years ago?
For me, of course, we have more plastic in the food, right?
Of course.
We are too acidic. We have too many heavy metals, right? Most people don't have a good sleep, which one reason is, again, electromagnetic radiation. I have a special show, the 19 possible causes of bad sleep. And one of the causes is electromagnetic radiation, no question. So for me, that every third person at the moment dies of cancer has one main reason. This is electromagnetic radiation. The main reason, I'm not saying the only, but the main reason, okay?
That's crazy.
Is electromagnetic radiation, which goes along with things like Parkinson and dementia, right? So we attack our body voluntarily and happily. I have my cell phone. I enjoy my new 13 iPhone 17, 18, 25, Oh, what a great time, right? I can download now a movie in 10 seconds. Isn't that great? Yeah, but everything which is comfortable comes with a price.
That's right.
And the price is health. And I don't care so much about myself. I'm covered, but about my children and grandchildren. And most people don't care. If you would care, why you put your safety belt on the child?
I think more people would care if the information was out there. So this is helping people because we do want answers, but like you said, you're not the typical professional that most people speak with. We're uneducated on this topic. So hopefully with more education, things will change.
Well, there's one more thing to it. It's the comfort zone. Like I give these interviews, like on your station today, the first time. I have several stations where I give the interview. They had me on the show every month for 2-3 years, every month, right? And I predicted to the talk show host, if we would make a research tomorrow, and your listeners are the more aware kind of people in our society, you're on the higher level of the pyramid, okay? That I would say most likely 90% of them don't have a protection. And after every show, it's not like, okay, 10,000 people now ordered my product or have a question. I don't judge it by sales. I judge it by interest. They will come back or they'll check out my website. They read the tests, right? Even among these people who are higher level of awareness, under them is among them a lot of people who are okay, because they don't feel it. And intellectually, I don't get them. They can read all the documents. They can see all the videos. I have on my website many talk shows, podcasts. But I give you an example. I have a woman who does my website for many, many years. And she uploads all the videos and the text and so on and so forth, right? So she's at the source, right? You think she ever bought a cell phone protection for herself?
Are you serious? That is crazy. Well, it's the old adage, out of sight, out of mind. That's just human nature. And I think with this type of, topic, we're talking about something that's invisible. People don't hear it. People don't feel it until it's too late. Yes. So that's the unfortunate part.
Well, then people come to me and say, why do I have cancer? They come a lot to me. I'm not a doctor. I cannot give medical advice, right? And I say, health is no accident and illness is no accident either. It's not an accident. There are things you ignored in your life. You didn't confront. Yeah? So before the show, I think we are about soon over, right?
Yes.
I got to give a quick crash course about being deceived.
Please.
Okay. Now, please look out for protective products. On my website is under webinars, a webinar where I tested 23 products in front of the camera with a doctor, not I tested, a doctor tested them, right? 23 products which all promise to protect you from electromagnetic radiation. And this doctor, we tested them, and my product was the only product which worked.
Out of 23 products tested?
Which we randomly bought on Amazon.
Wow.
Not saying, look, this or that. We just bought 23, right? Mm-hmm. And it's symptomatic. It's symptomatic. I bought the other day, specifically for a new thing I'm doing, I bought 5 products, six products of companies who heavily advertise. I mean, I don't know where they got the deep pockets from. Advertise all over the internet, all over social media. Oh, this sportsman and this team saying I have the greatest thing in the world. La 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 la. Mm-hmm. And I look at them and I tested the product, and they all did not work. And I give you here some quick quotes, and please look out for that. I told you before, you need Wi-Fi to make a cell phone call, right? I said
correct.
That. Okay. If a company promotes themselves and talks about blocking, right? Blocking Wi-Fi, you know that they're already lying to you. Because if they would successfully block Wi-Fi, you wouldn't be able to make a phone call.
That's right.
Okay. So, and here is a statement of one of those big companies, big advertising. So blocking is always an indicator of crap. Mm-hmm. They're lying through their teeth. And I must say about 90% of what I read and what I saw are pure lies, don't work, are deceiving you. Example, one company. They say they reduce the problem by 60 to 80%. As I said to you before, you cannot be a bit pregnant. Either I handle the Wi-Fi so it's not more harmful. Mm-hmm. 60% poison is still 60% poison, right?
Correct.
Just reducing it by 60 to 80% leaves 20 to 40% free, right? Mm-hmm. Or they say up to 80%. Up to 80% means what? 10%, 20%? And they say, depending on the phone. What does it mean? So on that phone, you do only 20%, on this phone, 80%? Mm-hmm. They talk about mitigating the risk, minimizing radiation, helps lower the impact, reduce the absorption. Then they have the guts to say the world's only scientifically verified cell phone radiation solution. That's a pure lie.
Yeah. Well, who verified it? What's the source?
And we have scientific, and we show it, and we show even 60 pages on our website. They don't show the 60 pages.
So viewers that are watching this should pay attention to very vague language, right? It's either it's protecting, you're either with a product that is protecting you from EMRs or they're not, correct, Norbert?
No, it doesn't work like that. Because the average consumer cannot judge the language. Mm-hmm. They cannot judge the language. They say effectiveness is validated through SAR. We're not going to go there. Mm-hmm. We're not going to go there now. It's too complicated to do it in 1 second because we're going to have no time left. But they say effectiveness is validated through SAR. Nobody out there knows what SAR stands for. And these people are lying to you. Mm-hmm. Okay? It's a complete lie. If you're interested in the next show, I will explain why it is a complete lie. Trust me.
Let's do that.
It's a complete lie. So the average person, that's the problem, cannot judge. I mean, you have a car and it says on the pamphlet 130 horsepower. Did you ever test your car? It has 130 horsepower?
No, never.
No, never. Okay. And even if you wanted to test, you didn't know how to do that.
Correct.
You don't have the gear. So whatever they say on their pamphlets, if they talk about blocking, crap. If they talk about reducing the problem, mitigating, minimizing, mm-hmm. and so I don't want to minimize. Would you wear a safety belt which says it works in 60% of the car accidents? It will help you.
Of course not.
Of course not. Mm-hmm. There's common sense. But when it comes to the mobile phone and EMF protection, people don't have common sense because they have no idea. Mm-hmm. If I say this safety belt will, a label on the safety belt, it will help you in 60% of car accidents. The other 40%, we don't know. Would you wear that safety belt? No, you would not.
We will definitely have to dive deeper into, what that is on another episode and go into more depth of what people have to look for and how they can be more aware of the other devices that are out there that are not protecting them.
Yeah.
So
and they can go on my website and they can ask questions. They can they can watch videos. Mm-hmm. My website, if I may say so, is
please.
improveyourlife.us. That's easy to remember, improveyourlife.us. Mm-hmm. And then I have a special website for EMR, electromagnetic radiation. It's called emrprotection.co, not .com, .co. emrprotection.co, where I explain a lot, show a lot. And now I'm coming out with a series of Mythbusters where I crucify those companies and these wrong information. Oh, go on a speakerphone and you are safe. Mm-hmm. Complete nonsense.
Mm-hmm. I love that. The Mythbusters, by the way. Can't wait to see all that once it's out. But Norbert, thank you so much for shedding light on this very important topic and educating the viewers on what to look for and how they can, protect themselves and their families in everyday life from these harmful radiations.
Thanks a lot for having me. I think I talk too much, but once I get me started,
I love it.
Once I get me started on this.
I love it. Thank you so much, Norbert.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye. Take care. This podcast is sponsored and brought to you by One Body Medicine. You can learn more by visiting onebodymedicine.com. That's the number 1, bodymedicine.com. You can also follow the show on social media under the handle Pure Wellness Pod. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.